Hello there. Once again, this is Democracy in Action. Your station is Third Eye Africa TV. We are at the Central Business District in Abuja. We want to talk democracy once again. Like I said, the program is Democracy in Action. Some people are worried, Nigerians are worried, especially what they call the Electoral Act. They are saying time could be very short. But some people are saying, well, Nigerians can always think out the time. Is that possible? We'll look at that. Outside that, again, people are talking of sending results real time. In other words, as you are voting, it is transmitted electronically to a collection center. Some people are saying, no, it ought to be collected and sent to the collection center. Now, in terms of transmission electronically, there is gain of time. Some people fear there could be electricity problem, power problem that is so inherent in this country. But some people insist to almost every person has a phone. They transact money. Here in Lagos, here in London, there are transactions done successfully. So why is it that when it comes to election, we cannot get it right? We begin to fear that is going to be a problem. Nigerians can always create the problems, especially the bad ones. 2027 is just around the corner. It's just next year. If we think we have time, we don't really have time. So we want to discuss this and more, even as some people are saying, no, the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission should not just be there. Why? Well, these are just opinions. Just like democracy, you can always talk. Just like we have the Nigerian Constitution, 1999, as amended, you can always have the right to air your own views. I want to welcome Barrister Ahmed Abubakar. He's not new here. Welcome to Third Eye Africa TV, and of course, we are discussing democracy in action.
Thank you for having me. It's always a delight and my pleasure to be here.
Thank you. Now we are seeing protests in Nigeria. Nigerians are even trying to do some picketing, block the National Assembly. Some are here with mattresses. They want to, do I say forced? They are appealing to the National Assembly, the epitome of democracy. Look at what is enshrined in the Electoral Act. If it is injurious, change it. But first of all, let's look at the protest in Nigeria. How legal is it?
Very legal. It's welcome. It's timely. In fact, I'll be surprised if Nigerians are not protesting the way they are. In fact, we are not doing enough. We want everybody to be on deck. The legislators are our representative. We voted for them. They are supposed to reflect our yearnings, our collective aspirations, not what they feel is necessary for them to retain power. If you look at it in all sincerity, what are we talking about? The truth is very simple, very crystal clear. It's not for the National Assembly to determine for INEC what they can do and what they cannot do. A lot of people have forgotten that INEC as a body is one of the elephants in the house, whereby they consume humongous budget that runs in trillions of naira, and nobody is even investigating to know what the monies are, how it has been used for, and what impact. Can we say, in all honesty, the election so far, all the results that have been declared, are they the best that we can do? The answer is an abysmal performance for some of us that knows that with the resources that are at their disposal. You see, in terms of when you are talking about performance, you need more minimal of manual intervention. The world is going digital, the law is going automatic. We are talking about AI, and we are still at the dark ages or the stone ages of trying to make everything manual. And we know the reason. The reason is because a lot of people want to manipulate the system to suit their benefit. So the provisions are very clear. Well, I'll tell you what has always been the case. Before now, you go to all of the electoral cases, the judges, my lords, will tell you their hands are tied. They will tell you their hands are tied because the Electoral Act gave INEC the right to make to make policies, to give directions and the rest. And those directions are not deemed as law because the law only mandates them that they can direct how they want to conduct their affairs. We don't want that anymore. International best practice, we should make attempts. Then if we know for whatever reason, can we say that there will be electricity destruction in the entirety of the nation at the same time? The answer is no. As far back as 2010, some of us benefited from the INEC, is it a lithium battery that was used, the same device. We are not talking about making calls with Starlink that you have. I'm not advertising, but we know people are using it. INEC, government should encourage INEC to purchase as much Starlink as they need. At the end, all those gadgets can be redeployed to our various ministries, parastatal, which will shock you. You go to government agency, the National Secretariat is just by the side. A lot of them, they don't even have personalized computer. I was shocked to the extent that even the Ministry of Justice, you are wanting to see a legal counsel in the Ministry of Justice having its own system, having its own interconnectivity, and you'll be shocked. All these things are lacking. Let's make judicious use of the materials that we have. Let's make judicious use. We have people that have the capacity. If we are buying Starlink in that large volume, I believe we will have discount. It will even help in terms of productivity. So why is it that the National Assembly are afraid to tell, to do what is right? They are not in a position to tell INEC that it cannot be done. INEC has never complained that it cannot be done. All these changes and shifting of goalposts usually happens because we believe certain people are trying to make the system to have faults. The glitches are man-made. They are not the real system. Having attacks, system attack, is normal. What have you done to circumvent it? Where is the technical expert? What they are saying is collect the result, take a picture of it, transmit it. When you have transmission, then you can now support it as well. In addition, with the physical one, it will give some kind of credence, some kind of integrity. You are sending a collation that APC has 100 votes, and you are bringing the manual to show that they actually have 100 votes. What's the problem in that system? Why would they want to restrict it to the manual when we know over the years those systems have been abused repeatedly? It has been mutilated. It has always been for those that are the highest bidder, and makes the electoral process to be a charade. If we don't want that, if we want the best, our leaders should know that if they come through, if they get to power through the wrong way, that integrity, that conscience, that accountability is lacking, because it will be that they are thinking that they made their way, not that the people voted for them. It's high time we should have leaders that we actually voted for and they are representing us. That is the only way we can have accountability.
Now, two key words here: electronic transmission of results.
Sure.
Then you also have transfer of results legally.
Okay, so when you say transfer, you have collected the results manually, and somebody now will now take a cab from Kaduna, will now put the INEC from whatever they call it, and put it in his car, and will now bring it down to Abuja, the collection center. Then the INEC chairman will now be reading it out. What we are saying is there is room for electronic transmission, whereby as the system is being collected, as the result is being collected, instantaneously, you are sending it to an electronic platform. What has been sent, will it be different from what will be transferred? The answer is no. So if there is difference, what will supersede? Then the issue of integrity test will now come in. The issue of everybody being there. You remember, agents are there. Agents of various political parties are supposed to be there. So if there's a coalition, I've participated in so many electioneering processes. You have agents of at least the minimum of maybe 3 political parties. They all have PDP having 10 votes. In the course of electronic transmission, can the 10 votes suddenly change to 20 votes? The answer is no. But when you say transfer, you have done something, you have signed. Anybody can, along the line, physically or manually alter the result. You can add 1 0 to the ending of the 10, and it will, from 10 it will now be 100. This is what has been the challenge. But what we are saying is that we need to improve the electoral system. Let me take it in a wider perspective. Before now, we've always clamored. Judges have given so many plethora of judgments. Every election comes with its problem. The ideal thing is that we should not always wait just some months to the electioneering process before we start talking about amendment. Amendment should be the first priority of the legislature as they are coming to, as they are being sworn in. They will look at the classical cases, the major cases, the lacunas that have been identified, because the business of judiciary is not to make law. The business of judiciary is to interpret the law. But through judicial activism, you can give some judgment and say, okay, there is need to improve this aspect of the law. If the intendment of the lawmakers is to allow for free and fair election, transmission is will achieve that objective. And for the transmission to be achieved, then we have recommended it as judges. They've said that okay, you can explore the option of transmission. You can explore the option of electronic of voting by mailing. You can explore the option of voting even using your phone, and you give room for people to make complaint. And then if we can do POS transaction, if we can do make calls, there's nothing stopping INEC from deploying technology to attain and achieve free and fair election. It's just that those that are actually not representing our interests, those that are representing their selfish vested interests, they don't want it because they believe that they are going to manipulate the system. And we are not bragging, but the fact this time around, people are serious. 2027 election is going to be very serious. We are warning. It's a warning. It's not about protest. We are warning. Nobody should toy with the future of Nigerians. This democracy is for all of us. Yeah. Nobody is superior than the other. Nobody has the right of a monopoly of what it feels democracy should be. Democracy should reflect the yearnings and the aspiration. We should be able to have vote leaders that they know that they are in that position, not by mere court judgment, not by mere a disingenuous way of manipulating the system. We want the system to be transparent. Why hasn't the National Assembly talked about having better ways of ensuring transparency, both internal democracies of political parties, elections at the general elections? Why try to stagnate even the most important, the most vital component? We are not saying must. Let it to be part of it. Let INEC at least deploy it. Abuja will not have power failure. Lagos will not have power failure. Kaduna, Kano, the major city centers will not have power if power is their challenge. How have they been using electioneering materials in areas, beavers and the rest, where there are no power? It's just like your phone. Election max should not be more than 3 days. You can have batteries that will last for more than 4 days. Why is INEC not making those provisions? In all this, it's the National Assembly that are making excuses for INEC. We have not even gotten to INEC saying that they cannot do it.
Just like you're saying, you see, the House of Reps at the point, it's said that as far as they are concerned, it has to be electronic transmission of results. But the big elephant in the House tends to be the National Assembly, where there tends to be some the Senate tends to be discordant tunes are there. Sure. You pull here, I pull here. So what does it say about the leadership?
It shows lack of integrity. It shows lack of fair representation. As I said, being a senator is a privilege. You are representing a segment of your state. They are not representing the yearnings and aspirations of the people of their constituency, because if they are actually in tune and in line with what the people from their various constituency are representing, I doubt if anybody will tell them that we are not clamoring for electronic transmission of results. We are saying we want electronic transmission in addition to the transfer or whatever name they want to call it. It should be that one is a checker on the other. There's a maker, there's a electronic transmission, and the transfer will now be a corroboration, authenticating what has been transmitted. You can always come to Abuja to come and read it out manually, but let it be that IREF whatever name they call it, has already, you can collect your result the real time as election is being conducted. That is the angle that we want to get to. And it's clear that our problem is the Senate. They are deliberately frustrating this. So it shows that the most of them did not win their seats. And they are scared that in free and fair elections, if I put it as a challenge to them, if they know that they won their seat freely in a contest that is fair, they should do everything humanly possible to allow for this electronic transmission to be tested. Then we will see if half of them will be back in the Senate.
Yeah, you can see that Senator Inaya Aberibe and Ireti Kingibe, Senator representing FCT, and some other senators, they came out, they pulled out to say, look, what they know is there was an agreement that it should be electronic transmission of results.
At this point, we are the era of the yes and the nay vote is kind of absurd. We want to have, they have the capacity, a lot of Nigerians don't know, they have the capacity. We want individuals name to be named so that we can shame them at the appropriate time.
When they say Senator this representing this senatorial zone,
Lawal Adamu representing Kaduna Central, he has voted in support of electronic transmission. Senator Khalid, Senator Marshall Katung from Kaduna South, he has voted in support of transmission. Senator Godswill Akpabio, he said there should not be. We want senators to be named in the voting pattern so that at the appropriate time, we call it shame and we know the enemies of democracy. The era of saying nay, yea, in very critical issues such as this amendment.
Some voices will just
swallowed some, and we don't know in real time, is it the nay actually that has the way or is the yea? We want proper individual voting. This time around, every senator's name should reflect the position they've taken. If you look at in all what has been said, this is the most critical aspect that people are even thinking that it might give a semblance of a credible election. So, but there are a lot of works to be done. This is just one aspect. We are talking about prosecution of electoral offenders. We are talking of their consequences for those that are, because you see the logic is that for the actors, the main characters, this is just a distraction. They are already scheming on how they will win their seat. I will share some with you, and we all know that what some of them are deploying at this moment is that they will not allow election to be conducted in areas where they don't have high majority, and that will negate the other party. And how are they going to do that? And that is why we will continue to have electoral violence. And how are you going to curb electoral violence and manipulation? It's how you sanction the defaulters. You'll be shocked to know that a lot of those that were arrested, even if the arrests were made, very few for electoral offenses, very few convictions, very, very few. And the sentencing were just kind of comical because you give somebody 3 years, somebody that obviously manipulated the whole process, and you are giving them very lenient terms, you are encouraging more manipulation in years. So what are they saying about all those other things? It is high time that we change the procedures of voting and our voting pattern. We can conduct all the elections in a single day. We can make it as a law. We don't need to wait for the governors or for the president to be conducted first so that they will not. No, we can do all these things.
After all, in India, it takes them days.
Yeah, we can do it in a whole day. And like, these are suggestions that the National Assembly should be considering. It should not be left to INEC alone, because INEC doesn't have the independence, is what the executives say, fortunately, that INEC will do. So at this time around, the National Assembly, they can be casualty to this kind of system. During the last 2019 election, a lot of them were casualty to the same law that they passed. So they should look at it that we are clamoring for democracy, not because we have anything against them, but it should be about all Nigerians, so that me and you can equally reconsider our stand to say tomorrow we are vying for office because we believe we have the capacity, we have the empathy to represent the best interests of our various communities. So every hand must be put to deck. We know the elephant in the room. We should all take down that elephant, and it's by amending our electoral act we should not use distraction of transmission transfer as the only issue. Can we go back to we'll take part of the way the Abiola elections were conducted? Is it option A1 or A4, whereby the entire electorate will be counted first? Then you know that this is the exact number that you are supposed to have at the end of each election. Then you know that if it is more than that, then there is an issue. Well, the issue of beavers, can we make it to be part of the law this time around? It is part of the law. Incidence form. You cannot have a situation. Technology, we know how technology works. You cannot say the entire of Binyugwari, a whole world will not, the system, the machine. There should be a backup arrangement. There should be a plan B. But at least let's have a plan A that is functional. If it's not functional in Kaduna South, in Tudunwada, let it be functional. In the Makera, let it be functional in Rigasa, so that we know that at least this, we have a similar. And you see, we are not creating anything out of the blues. We have templates. You can just simply deploy what obtains in India, what obtains in America. We reflect it. We are always bad in copying what is right, but we are good in copying what is bad from other clients.
Now, you see, this issue of some people they tend to fear the future consequences because they're saying, look, if the law says transfer the result and you went and did transmission, some people can now go to court to say, no, this is what is written there.
It's very simple. Judges, as I said earlier, judges interpret what the law provides. And in doing that kind of interpretation, without compromise, being open, being sincere, a layman should be able to know that the law states that transmission in addition to transfer. So if you transmit electronically, there's the assumption that equally the physical paper, the physical document will equally be taken. If it means that they will wait until when they receive for purposes of authentication. So if there is you see, the way it's supposed to be done is that this is the result. All the agents have signed. It may be a pictorial listing is captured. Then it's now transmitted just the way that you use your regular WhatsApp and send it, whereby you now have hard physical copy. At least it's high time we break it down. You have hard physical copy of the results. Then there's an input whereby there's a manual insertion that, okay, PDP has 100, AD has 20, APC have 50. It's now manually injected or downloaded, and you are now sending all this. The law will not be that it must always be only transmission. One should be like a maker and the other should be a checker to authenticate. Well, then everybody will be happy about
these votes you are giving political parties. I hope they will say, why didn't you give our party this highest number? I know that
we are just
anyway.
They will get more than that.
Now you look at the master of the art himself, the guy who stabilized the National Assembly, David Mark. Now he has crossed over to opposition. His message to Senator Akpabio, Senate President, he said, look, why do you want to fear when INEC can actually take a decision as to what to do?
Absolutely.
So do you think that advice is
timely? The advice is timely. The advice is well informed and is coming from experience. The message is sending is that you don't need to fear for INEC. Let INEC...
The man who escaped the banana peels.
Yes. Let INEC this time around to come around and to tell Nigerians that with all the trillions of naira that they've collected and has been approved and will be given to them, they cannot perform a simple task of optimizing the deployment and use of technology. I don't think INEC will want... Even though we have been able to confirm that there are certain challenges. Let me share personal experience to you. It came about because I discovered in my ward a lady was voted about 4 times. And I said it's not possible. But I had to meet her physically and I said, how are you able to vote in different polling units about 4 times? I thought our digital imprint is well, I don't know the right word to use, that I thought that once your thumbprint, because it's unique to you as an individual, once it's on their platform,
the
biometric, if for anywhere, maybe you go to Kogi or you go to Lagos and you try to register, that same information will reflect to tell you that no,
you have already voted.
I can assure you, I have confirmed that that's not what we have. INEC should be open. I think you see one of the challenges that.
So what about the indelible ink they do put on the thumbs?
I don't want to share the way they get it out. It can be taken out with relative ease. What is expected is you should not have, it's a crime, and for you to be able to stop that crime, you should have the capacity to detect it. In the last couple of years, we saw a certain governor that was registered in Abuja and he still went to his state to re-register. So you ask, not transfer, and nothing happened to him at the end. We have, if you can see that with the big fish, we equally have a lot of such kind of, what I'm trying to point to you is that, I don't know the words to use, but our even digital print that we have with INEC is not synchronized to detect multiplicity of registration. INEC had all the time. If it means re-registration, let's have re-registration so that you know that by the time your thumbprint is put on any INEC machine, your whole information should be able to pop up. If you have multiple registration, you should be able to see it. What is stopping us from using our NIN from voting? What is stopping us from synchronizing all our data, the BVN, the name, with our voters card, so that you know that the information supplied, they are one and the same. Your personality is one. You can, that thumbprint, the digital, more of the IT person will be able to, we know what we want. We should be able to explain to INEC, this is what we want. We want the digital imprint should be that my thumbprint is unique to me. Nobody in this world will have the same thumbprint as me. If it is a code, my NIN number is peculiar to me alone. So you cannot have it in a multiplicity in any form. But if I'm telling you that I have confirmed that I know, I've seen somebody with more than 4 voters card and the person voted, and I know that INEC should debunk it. They should deploy. You have all the time in the world to look at if an ordinary person that is not IT savvy can witness this and raise it as a complaint. INEC should be able to find, if it means that we start the whole process from the scratch, we can do it. The way they are telling political parties to go and do e-registration, you can even use your NIN number, your BVN, we talk about data synchronization, and today it's a thing of nobody is talking about it. All the billions down the drain. These are the effects of not consummating processes that are meant to enhance and enable the system to perform and work optimally. We'll continue to lose billions down the drain, and we'll continue to suffer ineffectiveness and inefficiency in our system and operations.
Then you also look at, still talking amendment, the provision of the Electoral Act itself, where, look, a lawmaker, a governor has been elected. He's already making laws. He's in full occupation. A governor, the same. Now you have crossed over that portion. Some people are saying, if you cross over and you are leaving your electorate behind, so you have to resign first. That portion appears to be, some people are asleep over there.
The truth of the matter is that, the processes for effecting it is quite the challenge. For example, let me share this with you. The president can commit impeachable offenses or act of gross misconduct. But if he has the National Assembly, as we have it now, then he can continue to even violate the Constitution, and there will be no consequences. What I'm trying to tell you that in this kind of scenario, the law is not enough. No amendment can actually solve that challenge if the political will is not there. The will to be responsible, the will to know that there is consequences for action, the will to if we want to now make it part of the Constitution, and you set a timeline, you say, okay, at the event of leaving your seat or leaving your political party, let it be constitutional. You have less than 30 days to leave that position. But what we have today is that, let me share an example. For example, if you are in the National Assembly and you decamp from a Labour Party to APC, and the law states that the Speaker or the Senate President will have to declare your seat vacant. You do not give him the time frame within which he will declare your seat. What happens if you fail to declare your seat vacant? What remedy do you have? You want to go to court? Yes, you are in court. And the colleague went, the other party to go to court. And the Federal High Court has given its judgment. He proceeds to the Court of Appeal. And the Court of Appeal, and he proceeds. So do you see that it's not everything that we must allow the judges. They are being overwhelmed.
And no wonder some people say, if you are dissatisfied, go to court.
And you see, it's now a kind of a condescending way of saying that you have nothing to do, because if you go to court, I equally have lawyers, litigants. As I said, we all need to amend the entire system. The amendment should not be about electoral act. While you are contending with the issue of the electoral acts, we should equally be looking at all our system, all our structure. Over time, we've always focused on taxation, on subsidy removal, on bringing more pain to Nigeria. Nobody's looking at optimizing our various systems. Where are the CNG buses? Where are the things that will make life difficult, easy for people? You are prepared. Sorry, I'm digressing a little. Where are the tractors? Where are the good roads? The only road from Abuja, I don't know when you went to Kaduna last, but you see not potholes anymore. You are seeing kind of, will I say, pond hole or pothole that are the size of a well on a federal highway. What are things that will make life easy? We are not. So it has a ripple effect. If there's a problem in the judiciary, if there's a problem in the way litigations are being done, if there's a problem of corruption, if there's a problem of insecurity, it has a ripple effect. As we are talking about transmission, no transmission, will we be talking about transmission, transfer in Wuwu, in Kiama, in Kaduna, in part of Kaduna, in Zamfara, in Benue, in all those places where killings are going on? The answer is no. So we should not only focus on even the Electoral Act. We should optimize to see how all our systems, structures, processes, let there be improvement. If there will be a problem if 1995 is better for me and you than 2026. I don't know if I'm making sense. If in 1995 you are leaving Kaduna, you are coming to Abuja, you will not see a single pothole, and now you are in 2026, you cannot even. So you see, something is fundamentally wrong.
Maybe compromised.
Yeah, structures. Absolutely. We should not be retrogressing in a geometric proportion. If it is in arithmetic, we think maybe now we are going backwards in a geometric proportion, and it's alarming because a lot of Nigerians are giving up. A lot of Nigerians no longer feel. We keep asking, what is the country doing for us? For the country, we don't expect us to do anything for it.
Yeah. We'll just go on a short break and come back. And when we do come back, we want to look at INEC itself. And is the chairman having some hypertension? Going by what is happening at the National Assembly? We'll look at all of that. Our guest has been Barrister Ahmed Abubakar, and my name is Ben Shamang. The program is Democracy in Action, and the station is Third Eye Africa TV. We're coming back.
Each week, one program. The most gripping crimes. The stories you won't forget. Crimes of the week on Third Eye Africa TV. We give you stories as it was reported. Stories from the Nigerian police, NDLEA, NAPTIP, the EFCC, NAFDAC, and the ICPC. My name is Margaret Adewale. Watch Crimes of the Week only on Third Eye Africa TV every Sunday, 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. on Star Times Channel 146. Join us.
Welcome back. Now, Barrister, let's get this. With all this backward movement, forward movement, standing still from the National Assembly, and considering time frame, do you think that this new chairman of INEC, Joash, is he having it nice, or he's living under tension by your own thinking?
Absolutely, he's already having it very rough. Josh Amupitan SN, for me, I feel you just have to take the bull by the horn. For the challenges that has been placed before him, if I'm in his position, I want to do better. I want to go beyond all expectation. I want to write my name in gold. Already, some segments, especially from the north, some segment of the north are calling that due to what they allege, what he wrote in regards to uh, bandits and terrorist activities, and how he tried to look at the issue of the Christian genocide. Some are calling that the president must ask him to go. For me, I think it's already late. They should allow him to stay in office. And if I'm in his position, I will now want to really prove to Nigeria. I want to be the rank of a senior advocate of a Nigeria. Nigeria is a very serious privilege, a very serious responsibility that has been bestowed upon him. If other INEC chairmen have failed, which I believe the likes of Atairu Jiga has not failed, if he wants to, he should go beyond board. He should perform beyond, far and above what Atairu Jiga has delivered. So if the National Assembly are saying they don't want transmission, INEC should, the Constitution from section 221 down to 22 up to so many various sections in the Constitution and INEC Act and the rest, they give them power to make direction on how the elections should be conducted. He should explore that power. He should do what is right. He should conduct free and fair election to the best of his ability. We should not have glitches. We know there are people that want to hack into the system. He should deploy IT experts and specialists to now see how they can prevent the hacking. He should use the resources that are within his coffer. For me, if I'm in his position, let me reiterate, the tension is there, the clamor for his removal is there, the expectation is there, the agitation from a lot of people is there. Let him be just. It's not like other INEC lawyers before. I think now we have a lawyer that is not only a lawyer, a senior advocate. Let him deploy the apparatus of the law. Let's see justice. The law is there. We want to see justice being deployed. Fairness. If some Muslims are not comfortable with him, they will be comfortable with him if the election is free and fair. For some people that clamor for Muslim ticket, I assure you, today they pray they have atheist ticket. If atheists will come and will ensure justice, if an atheist will come, will ensure fairness, will ensure accountability, will ease the burden. I rather wish to have an atheist that doesn't believe in God, but that he has fairness, that has justice, that will make life easy for me. I rather have him as a leader than to have a Muslim, a fellow Muslim, that will allow evil to spread, that will bring about hardship, that will bring about injustices, that will spread corruption, that will make life miserable for all. So he has a golden opportunity to clear the doubts in people's mind that he's a bigot. Some see him as a bigot because of his professional engagement. Were there killing? Yes. Were Christians being killed? Yes. Muslims too were killed. If his brief was to talk about Christians genocide or Christians being killed, there are a lot of killings. Christians were killed. There's nothing stopping anybody. Me too, I'm a lawyer. I'm a Muslim. If anybody Jamaatul Nasrul Islam had engaged me on our own, we've been writing that yes, genocides are being, people are being killed, insecurity. Why is it so easy for them to complain about the removal, the clamor for INEC chairman, and you just at our backyard here, they are killing about more than 100 people.
Exactly.
So
what
are they not focusing more about having credible? Are they not Muslims in the National Assembly? Why are they not focusing about having credible elections? Using the instrumentality of law to prevent somebody that you are thinking he might be bigoted in discharging a different obligation. Use the instrumentality of law. Call your lawmakers that are Muslims. Tell them, go and ensure that there's a voting, and the voting is that the election should be by transmission, and see if Josh, that is not a Muslim, will not transmit. So you see, the idea is that people, the clamor is ill-informed, it serves no purpose. They should do a bigger clamor that the president should not have the sole responsibility of appointing INEC chairman. INEC chairman should be independently appointed. We should be talking about amending the constitution so that you have an INEC chairman that is not partisan, that doesn't have any trace of bigotry in him, that have the capacity to perform the obligation. But if we are not looking at the root source and we are now giving cosmetic approach to solving problems because it suits certain tribal hegemonistic tendencies, we are not in for it. The religion is for everybody. There's nobody that has any superior attachment to it, and the action of one is as a result of the non-action of majority of. If you are the majority, you have the responsibility to use your majority power in the rightful way. Removing him at this point in time, will it solve anything? Will it change? Will it radically ensure free and fair election? Will it stop the killing? Will it stop the proposed, the people planning to rig election massively? You have the opportunity. Why are you not using it? How many lawmakers that are Muslims that are in the National Assembly, have they really sat down amongst themselves to say, okay, our people are saying that they want election to be free and fair? And one of the ways, just one, there are other ways that they need to equally engage with some of us. We'll tell them, yes, you need to amend this act, you need to make provision for this, you need to make, if you do all this, we will now have free and fair elections. If I'm to vote between maybe a candidate of Ubasani and a candidate from the ADC, if it is credible, if it is free, if it is fair, then they know that I will choose the one that will best represent my interests. No amount of vote buying, no amount of threats, no amount of intimidation will change my position, because I know that my vote will really count. But if already people are having the feeling that their votes will not really count because of the shenanigans, because of the way some people are going about the whole process, then people will be justified to be afraid. This kind of calls and clamor, you look at it, to what end or what purpose will it serve?
Truly, because I'm a northerner.
Sure.
I'm from Kaduna State.
Sure.
I'm from southern Kaduna.
Sure.
Now, you also talk about the people from Kwara State.
Sure.
They are northerners.
Sure.
Benue, northerners.
Sure.
Borno, northerners.
Sure.
You know. Now, a group will come to say, we northerners. I was not consulted. Were you consulted?
Nobody consulted me. Nobody.
So on what grounds are they
what,
saying they will not accept results of election?
What I can assure you, majority of them are not speaking for majority of us. Because if they had conducted even a simple referendum, a simple consensus, a simple stakeholder meeting, they will know that they are not, these are not our focus. If people are being killed and you are keeping mute, and you expect us to now say because somebody wrote something about, the question is, what he wrote, are they lies? Did he say that no Muslims were killed? No, he was talking about, in cup of engaging a lawyer or a consultant, you ask him, please check if you don't expect Jamaat Nasrul Islam to engage me as a consultant about the insecurity in Borno or in Zamfara, then I'll be telling him, I can mention, for the purpose of mention, maybe a church was burnt, but the focus would be about their adherence, the belief that they are not saying, yes, Muslims were killed, children were killed, these were killed. And I think I've not done anything wrong, because there's nothing stopping them from engaging other lawyers, other senior advocates, other consultants to tell them, but it will shock you to know that killings has become a norm in the North. It's not about that we are agitated, we are angry that people are being kidnapped, people are being killed. Sometimes we just want to know the numbers. Okay, 20, okay, 10 is okay. So if a state government can even deny that people are being kidnapped, then all of a sudden, people are coming on national TV to tell them that, oh, they've recovered. You deny that nobody was kidnapped. And now you are now coming on national TV. No consequences. No commissioner has resigned. No DPO, no chairman of a local government. That came out. We have news clip that said they are lying, nobody. And today now they are saying that they've arrested.
In fact, the chairman, Dauda Madaki, said he's challenging anybody to bring a figure.
Now, in other climes, is he not supposed to have resigned? These are the things we are saying. We have Now, the people are so subjected, so subjugated to bad leadership to the extent that we don't even know what is right from what is wrong. We have taken everything. Everything can go. So people in the Home of Affairs can say whatever our religious leaders, I can tell you for free, they are in collusion with the government at the center. If some of them are receiving brown envelopes, some of them are receiving oil well, some of them are receiving various gifts, various privileges. Do you expect them to speak against the government? So if they are making calls, so to what extent? You will not be asking, are they making those calls for our benefit? I doubt much.
Yeah. Now, you see, late Edwin Clark, before his death, at the point he said, look, some of them were already at the departure lounge.
Sure.
In other words, they will soon go.
They will soon go and meet to be with their
because
Lord.
of their age.
Sure.
But he turned and said, the younger generation imbibe friendship.
Sure.
But what we are hearing now from some of these people from the north too, they tend to scatter the north.
Sure.
This concept of one north is just not there, because there are some people, all they do is to inject some opinion to younger generation.
You see, the good thing is that there is a new reawakening happening. I'm very, very, very particular. I'm very happy about the North. There is a new reawakening that is happening now. I will tell you that a lot of us, we have seen from both ends. So people that used to feed in Hausa will say Masuchi da Dini. I think this is the time that they will be exposed. No malam, no sheikh can tell me to go against my Christian brother, my traditionalist brother. He has done nothing to me. He's not the source of my problem. And I expect our other religious leaders to look at the price of food in the market. There's no specialized shop, maybe a Sharia shop, where I can get food at a cheaper rate. We all go to the same market. Our children all attend the same school. If there is bad governance, it reflects on all of us. So the good thing I can assure you, unlike before, a lot of politicians, they will be in for the shocker. Those that used to come to the Juma, I can tell you, I'm telling you as an insider, they will come to the mosques, they tell the religious leader to preach hate, to preach how this person is their enemy. I cannot tell you now, if you are a Christian, you are my brother, you are my friend. I love you more than a Muslim or somebody that is pretending to be a Muslim that will kill my people, that will abdicate them, that will kidnap them. This person is making life unbearable for me. You have done nothing to me. You might not even help me. You are just looking at me. I'm more comfortable with you. So the new election that is going to take place this time around, I will assure you, on our own divide, I'm very, very certain. Those that over time, I will not mention name, but we've seen a very high-ranking religious leader that has thrown his towel into a gubernatorial election. And the response from the comment, I laugh. Because a lot of people tell him that you cannot even say, just clear words for more than certain hours without lying. So if you can be telling lies, if what you preach against, you are now coming back, people can now see beyond that. Okay, so you are good to live in luxurious life. Then you tell us to sacrifice ourselves. You tell us to hate our fellow human being, and you are now coming back. It will not work. I encourage people to open their eyes. I don't go to church, but I believe people should read the Holy Scriptures. They should not rely on any individual, because most of our religious leaders from both divide, they are in collusion. Some of them, they've gotten oil well, and they enter into partnership. Some of them, they've gotten the most juiciest of contracts. Their children are being employed in the choicest place. They do not think about religion when they are taking all those benefits. It's me and you and the man on the street. Over time, they try to use, we've seen marriages. You've seen a couple of marriages going on, and you preach to me that I should cover my hair, I should observe this. And you, that you introduce it, you that you are our leaders, you are coming to do the exact opposite. Then tomorrow during election, you tell me not to vote for Mr. Ben because he's not a Muslim. I will not. This time around, a lot of people, we don't want to mention it, but a lot of people are saying that they would rather vote an atheist that will give them peace of mind, that will improve security, that will reduce corruption, that will create employment opportunity, that will create a leveling playing ground. So the emphasizing of religious divide has been a trick that they've used in exploiting our parents in the past. We are wiser because we have technology. We are talking. We have various platforms. Sensitization is going on. So we are just waiting. Electoral Act should be amended to allow us to vote credible leaders, failure of which the consequences will be there. Democracy is not for certain group of people to benefit alone. It's for all of us. I might not be in leadership position directly, but I should be given the opportunity to express my view, to say, yes, we want this law to be amended. We want this to be taken out. We want this to be implemented, regardless of tribe, religion, or vested interest. We are getting to that point, I can assure you.
Then a last one, an advice to those who steal ballot boxes, an advice to those you call the vanguards for some political parties, Yan Sarasuka, so Young Al-Kalari, or what is it they call?
Sure.
You know, all these people who are used and dumbed, your advice to them.
You see, because we have preach and preach and preach, and it seems the printing is not making, we are not threatening, but what they say, is simple. Is that if you think you will make, if they think they will make life unbearable, a lot of Nigerians, we have suffered for the past, we don't want to say 3 years, for the past 11 to 12 years, we've seen hell. So if anybody is thinking due to his the little token that you get for a day will now make the hell to exacerbate, this time around, what they are going to face is going to be different. We are equally mobilizing. We are mobilizing. The youths are mobilizing. They might not see, you don't need to come out and make noise to demonstrate to people. We know the people on ground. I don't know whether the government is aware of that, but a lot of people, we will not advise any youth this time around. We will not advise those that is their habit, but they should know that people are waiting for them. Because you know, when you don't have, if you push somebody to the wall and there's no way that he can move backward, he will come for you. We have gotten to that point that this election, whether they like it or not, is going to be credible. Those people that they use, they should now deploy their own children, because those ones that they are sending, I don't think they will have it easy this time around. We are ready for them.
So, INEC, finally, what does it take, for example, in a situation like this? Uncertainties, some roadblocks here and there, lawmakers are not going the way they ought to be. By this time next year, talking of February, we are supposed to be talking of election is on so date and all that stuff.
That's exactly what we have said, that the issue of amending the Electoral Act should be a routine exercise. In fact, if it is possible, if the lawmakers are truly reflective of our yearning and aspiration, we want it to be a constitutional provision that the moment they are sworn in, they should be given a timeline of 1 year within which to amend this time around the Electoral Act to reflect whatever position they want to hold. If they do that for us, we know that they are serious. But if they fail to do that, we are equally waiting for them. No matter the system they try to create, we equally will be ingenious in this time around to ensure that we circumvent it and we do what is right. Those that they refuse to represent our yearnings and our aspiration, equally they will not get our votes this time around, and we will not allow them to manipulate the system. That I can assure you.
Well, I think that it is time that we call it quit. We end it here, believing that again we'll continue some other days, because you have always been our guest. I'm talking of Barrister Ahmed Abubakar. We want to thank you for coming to Third Eye Africa TV.
Thank you for having me.
And the program is Democracy in Action.
Absolutely.
My name is Ben Adam Shaman. Keep watching us. We are in the Central Business District in Abuja, and we are Third Eye Africa TV, proudly Nigeria. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Third Eye Africa. It's a pleasure always.
Thank you.